Hey guys, this week we're talking about personal financial literacy, and we're just going to do a really quick review on personal budgets. A personal budget is a way of organizing income, make sure this is working, income, and expenses. Sorry, that is so messy. Over a period of time in order to make financially responsible decisions. Budgets can span a variety of time periods, though a monthly, do y'all hear that horrible squawking? That's my son's birds. Okay, so let's go over it now that I've got the vocabulary in. A personal budget is a way of organizing income and expenses over a period of time in order to make financially responsible decisions. Budgets can span a variety of time periods, though a monthly budget is the most common. All right, so right now we're just gonna, if I can get this off of this, we're just going to look at some bills or bills that we may have, and we're going to label them, if I can get this figured out, as either an income, a form of income, or an expense. Let me erase all this green. Okay, so your salary, would that be income or expense? That is income, and that's usually our biggest form of income. A retirement savings, that's an expense. That's something that you're saving for the future. Income taxes, also an expense. Utility, expense. Saving for college, that's an expense. You probably know the answer to this one. Entertainment, that's an expense. Wages, that's what you earn. That's income. Emergency savings is an expense. Food, expense. And rent or mortgage, expenses. So, there you have it. Income, seems like we have a lot more expenses than we do income sources, right? I mean, that's typical. That would be normal. I mean, typically you have one job, maybe two, depending. Okay, fixed expenses versus variable expenses. We're just going to brainstorm. So, expenses that do not change month to month, meaning you know exactly how much you're paying every single month. Those are fixed. So an example of fixed, when y'all get a little bit older, maybe rent or a mortgage payment. And those are fixed. You can depend on that being the same every month. Also, car payments. Though, wouldn't it be ideal if you could just pay like cash for your car and be done with it? Okay, car payment. That's a fixed expense. Variable. Things that can vary month to month. So those are things like groceries. I think this is a good one to look at right now. Because, think about it. You guys, groceries. You guys are at home all day long. And I imagine that your family is spending more money on groceries right now than if you were in school. Granted, you might be sent with a couple of snacks for school during the day, but you're not at home all day long. Eating probably a lot throughout the day. At least my kids are certainly eating a lot throughout the day. So groceries are a variable expense. And then other things that change are utilities. You know, if it is hot in the summer, you're probably going to run your air conditioning more than you would in the winter. So your electricity bill might be higher. That can change. Okay, now we're going to look at Ricardo's budget. And we're going to answer the questions. Let me erase all this. I mean, I think you guys probably have a pretty good understanding of a fixed versus a variable expense. Scroll down. Okay, here we've got Ricardo, and this is his budget. Ricardo obtained his first job after graduating from college. After taxes, Ricardo will bring home $2,400, so he lists out a few of his expenses. We're going to label each of them as fixed or variable, and then we're going to answer the questions. So I'm going to circle this $2,400 because that's his income. Here are his expenses. For rent, he spends $800. Remember, we just talked about that. That's going to be a fixed expense. Food is variable. Utilities are variable. Car, fixed. And gas is variable. That's another thing to look at right now. If you are home and you are socially distancing, then you are probably not driving as much, and therefore you are not purchasing gas maybe like you were, or your parents were, if they were commuting back and forth to work versus staying home. So that is a variable expense. How much money has Ricardo yet to budget? So we're going to add up all of these expenses. I'm going to do that right now, and I am using my calculator. So we have 800 plus 420 plus 125 plus 340 plus 125. So I have him at $1,810. That's what he has budgeted so far. So we're going to take that $2,400 and we're subtracting that $1,810. So he has $590 that he still needs to put in that budget. He decides to include his student loan payment. Is a student loan payment a fixed or a variable expense? Student loan payments are typically fixed. So he can count on that each month to be the same amount of money. So that is it for this week's little direct lesson. I hope you guys are doing well. I know you're probably so tired of this and just ready for summer, ready to be full-time kids. But we don't have long, so keep going. I'm really, really proud of y'all. Bye for now.